I was hurting. Well, you run a lot faster than I do, so I mean, you're like you bang out like 7 minute miles, so
Long legs, long legs. That's the only reason.
you get the
Slow
gazelle,
pace, but I got long
the
legs.
gazelle stride.
I'm a fucking giraffe out there. I'm
Yeah,
like an elephant. They don't look fast, but
you never know.
one of their steps is seven of yours. So
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I was like first time in 2 weeks. I was actually gonna before you came out. I was gonna be like, dude, bring your running shorts. Like, let's bang out a little run. And then I saw it was gonna be just raining all weekend, and I'm like, I'm not gonna ask Tiggy to do that. That would be absurd.
I was thinking about bringing my running shoes. That would have been really cool. We could have like somehow like content or something like
I
that,
know.
or
Next time.
really cool, yeah.
Also,
Well, in May, yeah.
next year is it's looking a little spooky already because that's fucking Mother's Day weekend.
Oh my god, dude. Well,
That's fucking Mother's Day weekend, and it's
what
my
do I
sister's.
do?
So it's like May 11th is Mother's Day. That's the Sunday, and then May 10th is my sister's birthday. That's the Saturday.
Oh my god.
So here's hoping that we are doing something like that that Sunday for both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So Lundoplex, dude, Lundo, hope that you're
No.
doing well, brother. I haven't seen you in a grip. Hope that everything's going well. I was gonna wear the FlyQuest shirt, but it's in the wash. I wanted to wash it before I wore it. I didn't want to like fuck it
Yeah.
up. But you got the complexity shirt on, OG, triple
Yeah.
OG, triple OG. All right, we're just gonna hit
Full
record.
price. Full price.
Full price, baby, full price. This episode on Not Another Gaming Podcast, we're going to be talking about how we have got a lot to talk about. That's what we're going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about FaZe being back on top with COD. We got some Destiny 2 news. We got FlyQuest losing the LCS finals, but winning the LCS Challenges finals, and probably on the road to winning MSI and also Worlds. All that and more on an extra special, coming back at it, getting back into the groove, shaking off the rust episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Let's ride. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. Your boy Papa Don. We're back live, direct, and handsome, and I could not be doing this without my lovely co-host, who is exponentially taller than me, but just as buttery smooth on the microphone. You've seen him on the 2024 cosplay, red carpet, Tiggy Nation. How you doing, sir?
It's fantastic to be back. We got the bright lights shining down. It's sunny outside for once. I haven't seen you with some sun outside in weeks, and it just feels good. Feels good to be back. A little just sense of home. We made it home. We made it back, and we can just keep up the positivity, keep it rolling.
He's done miracles on me. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are here live, direct. JB Genesis in the chat. In the chat. Fresh out of the WGG International Emergency Bunker in Salt Lake City. He's here. JB. JB said, I'll be back soon. Love you guys. I hope that you're still in the chat because we love you too, and we miss you, and we hope that your the new gig, the new digs are doing well. We hope that the people at the WGG Emergency Fallout Bunker in Salt Lake City are treating you well. We also got LD in the chat said, did somebody rub a bottle of PBR 3 times? Yes, I did. Coleman is in the chat said, I'm cracking open a Busch Light right now. Absolutely love that. Lundo with the resub 49 months said, I am eating some Marshmallow Sky Ben and Jerry's. I have never had that before, but that sounds absolutely delectable. And I hope that all of you are having a phenomenal Friday, Junior. I hope that all of you are just ready for the weekend. I know I am. But let's talk about last weekend, shall we? Let's do a little weekend recap.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So, this past weekend was Easter. We had Easter weekend. Good stuff. I found out this year that not everybody celebrates Easter like the way the way like Italians do. I feel like it's just another Sunday for a lot of folks, and that's fine. You know, whatever you do. My side of the family is Italian. My wife's side of the family is mostly Ukrainian, and both nationalities celebrate Easter pretty heavily. So we had some traditional Italian Easter pie, otherwise known as pizzagana, which is like a cold cut pie with a little egg, little cheese. Absolutely phenomenal. About 90 million calories. Lots of pierogies. I hopefully don't need to explain what pierogies are, but her family makes them great. Her aunt will like pan fry them with like a little caramelized onions, some butter, just like the potato and cheese, and then they got the cabbage. It's like there's like a cabbage and something like the kielbasa, I think, in there. Real Polish hours. So it's been great. It's been great. Been gaming
Nice.
as much as humanly possible. Been playing a lot of Destiny. We're gonna get into that. Playing a lot of Destiny 2. Also been playing some MLB The Show. Started my road to the show in MLB The Show 24, and got called up from the Portland Sea Dogs to the Worcester Red Sox. Now they used to be called the Pawtucket Red Sox or the Pawtucket. They used to just be the Paw Sox, but now they're the Woo Sox, which I think is dumb. And also, not for nothing, but like Tiggy, I don't know if you've ever been to Worcester, Massachusetts, or Portland, Maine, but Portland, Maine is a vastly superior place to hang out. And if you were like, there's a little cutscene in the show where the manager goes like, "Get ready to go to Worcester." Or get ready to go to your next assignment, like pack your bags, and then like the dialogue is like, "Thanks, coach. I can't wait to go to Worcester." And it's like, dude, nobody's ever said, "I can't wait to go to Worcester."
Words never been said by a real person.
Never. So, but what about you? How was your weekend? What you do? What you been playing? What you been doing?
That's awesome. Speaking, I have been to Portland, Maine. I did a summer camp out
Really?
in Maine, and we actually have gone to a couple Sea Dog games.
Hell yeah.
And I forget when I was there. A couple kids were from Boston, and so they knew of these prospects, and I got to see Andrew Benintendi and Yon Mancada when they were at Portland Sea Dogs,
Wow.
who are now, I think they play for both the White Sox now, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Benintendi was there when they won their most recent one, actually.
He was.
So
yeah, he was.
yeah.
He was on that. He was on that team. I always love playing the show too because I always forget like how the AA teams and even the AAA teams are named like these absurd names. I really like the. I think it's like the. Oh my god! It's like a Pennsylvania team, and it's like the
Is it
Iron
the
Pigs.
Okay.
It's like the
I thought you were
Westchester Iron Pigs or something like that, and their jersey says Bacon USA or like Bacon City USA, and it's just like
Yeah.
so good.
That's perfect. That's perfect. There's that. I know they're for the Pirates they have the Altoona Curve,
Yep.
which is like a cool name just in general with baseball and stuff. So that's cool. MLB The Show, super hot in the streets. There's a Japanese baseball game coming out too, where a lot of people were showing like clips of it and stuff. I guess it's only in Japan, but it's going to come to the Western countries soon to give MLB The Show a little bit
run
of
for its
competition.
money,
which
little
I think
little
could be cool.
shakedown.
Yeah.
I love that.
Could be cool.
Love that.
So, yeah, but my weekend, so I'm Italian as well, but I have never had pizzagana once in my life. I know you guys talk about it every single year and stuff like that. So my family must not just be that Italian. We do like a little, we do the pina. And my mom will always make pizzelles and stuff during the holidays and stuff. So that's one thing. The pizzelles, for some reason, the taste, the smell, I can't do it. I can't be in the same room. It's insane.
Really? It's just like
Yeah.
vanilla and powdered sugar. It's like fried dough.
Yeah,
Except
I think it's like
avocado.
isn't it like the anise in there too? It might be like that where I'm.
What did you call it?
It's like the anise, right?
Yeah.
A-N-I-S?
You pronounced that very differently the first time.
No.
Yeah,
that's
Lehigh
just-
Valley
that's just,
Iron Pigs. That was the one. That's what,
No. That's
anise.
just the
Yeah,
Arizona
like
accent.
anisette.
That's the Arizona accent. Yeah.
like anisette is the funny story about that. My grandmother on my mom's side, God rest her soul, when we were living with her for a little bit, and I was like 23, it was probably like 10 years ago when she passed. I never really drank with her because I was like 22, 23, whatever, living with her, and she always had this like liquor cabinet on that never was touched. It was like just old dusty liquor bottles like in the corner of her dining room that nobody ever ate in. It was like plastic on the furniture, like tables and chairs that nobody ever sat on. And then there was a little like a hutch. I actually have one like right over here, kind of like this. It's like I'll like put my camera over here so you can see. I have like kind of like this, there's all trinkets and stuff over there, but kind of like a hutch, and also a like a little cart, like a little serving cart with a bunch of liquor on it that who knew what it was.
Yeah.
There was always this really tall cylindrical clear bottle with like a little tree inside of it, and I was like, Nan, what is that? Like, I'm a little like I'm like out of beers in my fridge. I'm like, what do you got? What's going on over here? Like, what were you and Grandpa cooking up? And she was like, oh, that's anise. And I was like, oh, like the cookies? Like the cookies. And she was like, yeah, kind of, but it's like anisette is also like a liquor. Like it can be like a liqueur. It's like a licorice.
Really?
It's like a licorice flavored liqueur. It was like an after dinner drink. Oh, it almost tastes like mint McGillicuddy's. I hate to even compare it to that, but
yeah,
like that, but more licoricey. And so I was like, that's funny. And she was like, why? Do you want some? And I was like, I mean, I'm not going to say no. I mean, it's a piece of history. I've been looking at this since I was 4 years old, wondering what it was. It's been sitting there since God knows, since the Great Depression, probably. So I go, yeah, let's do that. And so she took out these like massive shot glasses that were probably about 3-4 inches tall, and was like, here you go, cheers, blah blah blah. Like drank it, literally straight, dead straight, zero emotion. And my face went like this. I was like. Literally had no capability of keeping my restraint, and my grandmother was like, pfft.
To
like,
be fair,
I'm like, you just sunned me. You just like owned me. You just owned me.
But, yeah. I mean, many years down the line, I mean, she had way more experience. She also knew what the drink was going to taste like.
Yeah,
too.
that's true. That's very true. I don't know. That's just like one of my favorite.
Defense.
That's like one of my favorite memories. My grandmother, who like had this very odd liqueur sitting in this cabinet, and I was just like, huh, what's up? Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But I do love anise cookies too. Anise cookies are the shit. So I can't believe that you guys pronounce it pizzelles though. Is that how your mom pronounces it? Or like
Pizzelle? Yeah. Yeah. What would you pronounce it as?
Pizzales.
Pizzales?
Yeah.
Pizzales?
Like
I might have to ask her. Okay. I'm gonna
text a picture of that. I'm gonna text a picture of one of those to Chris and see how he.
Tell him to give us a pronunciation.
Yeah.
Is Chris gonna be Chris is gonna be the tiebreaker?
I mean, Chris is also he's said it a million times. He's like, I'm fake Italian, like I'm like German or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce this food? But yeah, does your mom put like the powdered sugar on them and stuff?
Yeah.
And you still can't. What is it like?
Sugar.
I mean, they basically smell like pancakes. I feel like no.
I know. I don't know why. I remember just coming in for like practice or something like that, and she would make hundreds of them, put them in all freezer bags, and give them to like her. She'd give them to her coworkers and my teachers and stuff for holiday gifts and stuff. And I don't know why. I would come home and I have to go into my room, and I'm just like, I can't go outside. I can't go out there because it smells so bad. I don't know. So maybe, tastes change with age. So who knows? I didn't used to drink Bud Latte, and now it's my favorite drink. So
yeah. That's true.
Taste change. Unfortunately, ELO's changed. League of Legends. I played, I think, 3 games since being back from PAX. I have a new background. So I'm now a gold goblin again, unfortunately. So,
Super goblin
other than that,
mode.
it was good. Yeah, I spent Easter with my friend Troy out here. His folks are out here, so got him a nice honey baked ham. We went up there, had a good time. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time.
I can't believe we just went on like this big guinea tangent for for food and drinks, but I apologize for taking us down that road. But why don't we dive right in? Let's talk about FlyQuest. Which
it looked tough starting out like a day before, because I don't know if you saw the news. One of their coaches basically was suspended by FlyQuest themselves due to an investigation throughout the league for some not great allegations. So I think, obviously FlyQuest made the proper proper adjustments there by getting the coach out of there.
Yeah.
But obviously, a big blow to the team as they have one of their coaches dismissed
Yep.
a day before the LCS finals.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a tough situation. And yeah, I had seen that. I guess Richard, who was the coach, was flirting with a 17-year-old when he was 24 or 25, but pretending to be younger. And it took place a couple of years ago. And that was exposed by, or alleged by, a report from Sheep Esports. And so he was dismissed after that. And yeah, just an unfortunate situation all around. You know, obviously, if true, those allegations are gross, and you know, I'm glad that FlyQuest took quick action on that. But you know, clearly that was not the distraction that they needed, as they ended up almost getting swept by Liquid in the LCS finals. What was your overall kind of analysis of the matchup and kind of like what maybe went wrong? Because I saw a few things that I thought that I really didn't like, but how did you feel overall about the series?
So I mean, overall, one, it was kind of, you know, naturally it's right in the middle of Easter. So, you know, it was like right when we were eating Easter, so I kept kind of checking in on the game and stuff, but it looked like the winning success for FlyQuest down the line was when, I mean, Busio is one of my favorite players. I mean, you know, I have his jersey from 100T, and he's initially why I kind of like FlyQuest starting out this year. And he was a former mid laner, so he plays some off-meta picks. Yeah. But his best games are when he plays like Nautilus. You know, whenever FlyQuest locks in Nautilus, he's gonna be freaking whatever, flashing in, hex flashing over everything, hooking, ulting, the guy's dead, and they go on a run. And I believe there was only one game he played Nautilus, and they won handsomely. So I think they're just losing at the draft, honestly. I mean, you know, I think they're putting themselves at a big disadvantage, and I don't know if maybe that coach was the difference maker. I don't want to blame it on the one factor, though, but I mean, it looks like the champs were just not set up for success. They were giving TL a lot of their kind of like pocket picks that they want to play. Yeah. And
the picks and bans were not great, and it felt like Liquid was able to play the exact game they wanted to play, and it felt like FlyQuest was either like playing down to Liquid, or I don't know, or maybe it was just like maybe they were mentally rattled from like, you know, the team shakeup happening and stuff like that. But whether or not, you know, no matter what, you know, we had some. I mean, like records were being broken on Liquid side. You know, you have you know, Appa won MVP. He had an absolutely unbelievable series. The chirps back and forth were absolutely insane. You have Impact winning his 6th LCS trophy, which is actually kind of crazy. And then you have Yeon, or I hope I'm not like butchering the name, Yeon or Yon. I don't know.
I think it's Yon. Yeah, Yon. I think it's Yon or Yon maybe.
Yon. Yeah, I think Yon sounds good. Yon, who's 23 years old and already just broke the all-time postseason kill record for, I think it was set by FBI in the LCS. So he literally smashed that record. And it wasn't even the final game. It was like the first game of the series. He broke the all-time LCS postseason kill record, which is bonkers. So Yon was absolutely fucking drilling FlyQuest on his own. And then there was like the game 5, maybe game 4. Game 4 or 5.
Well, it only went 4. It only went
4. Yeah. So it was game 4. There was an awful Baron giveaway from FlyQuest that literally made me sick to my stomach. And like, I'm not the best League of Legends player of all time. I'm definitely not as qualified to analyze these games as many other people are. But then again, I also have never played professional football, and I like to point out things that I can see. And like, it just seemed like they got like one quick kill, and it's like, all right, we're one man up. we're gonna just go straight to Baron and like kind of go for broke here, which I can understand if maybe you had like one other pick, maybe if it was 5-on-3, but they go for that. They go for Baron, and then immediately you can see Liquid like surrounding them, just waiting to pick somebody off, and then they just get picked out one after the other, and Baron was still at like a third of his health, and then it was just an easy GG's for Liquid, and then they ended up scooping the second Baron as well, which was gross, but I don't know. It just all in all was an ugly series. There's no other way to fucking put that. It was ugly as shit, and I'm glad that FlyQuest Challenges won. I think that org deserves at least one piece of hardware to come home away with, but we're on to MSI.
Yeah, we're on to MSI. Like you said, they played to their competition. I think they had 3 losses all regular season, and all 3 losses were teams that were on the bottom of the table all year. They dominated all the top teams, C9 twice, Liquid, NRG, like very handsomely. So like you're saying, they played to their competition. Inspired is probably the best jungler, maybe like best player in all of LCS.
Totally.
He's won MVPs here. He's won MVPs in the LEC.
Yeah.
Busio is still like one of the best supports in the game. And he
Easily.
won like all pro or all team, first team, whatever. Jensen played amazing. He was staying alive, and that's half the game in League of Legends. Blippo was just dominating, and Masu as a rookie was doing incredible things.
Yeah.
So, like you said, incredible things out of this team. We're on to MSI, and it was cool because FlyQuest and Liquid were the only 2 teams that also have challenger teams.
Yeah.
And they were in the finals for both of them. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. And
It's good to see that investment in League esports and in especially in NA League esports pay off, and just to have them be represented not only on the the major but also the minor division is phenomenal. So I didn't know that what was it, not Maryland,
Maryville.
I didn't know is Maryville affiliated with Liquid?
They might be. Was that who was in the finals then?
It was Maryville.
Who was in the finals with
it was
FlyQuest?
Maryville versus FlyQuest.
Maybe Liquid wasn't in the finals. I read a tweet that said like they were the only 2 teams that had challengers, and they were in both finals.
They
But
did
it
go
could
to.
be-
I mean, they were in the finals of the losers bracket, but Maryville ended up sweeping them.
Oh, okay.
They went to the lower
Maybe
bracket finals. Yeah, Maryville swept them, and then FlyQuest swept Maryville.
Okay, maybe they're just making like just an instance and be like, hey, these 2 teams are in the top of the top, and they're the only also LCS teams that actually have challengers.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's
still cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. I totally agree, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how things shake up with MSI. I think there's going to be some really, really interesting matchups. I don't know when the MSI matchups or like seeding gets drawn or how that works, but really looking forward to that. And I just want FlyQuest to beat the fuck out of G2. So
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think they said it's going to be in China too, which is going to be a really cool event. So we have MSI China, and we also got leaked that League of Legends is going to the Esports World Cup this summer as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Actually, I don't know if we did. It got released, I think, like a week or 2 ago. I don't know if we talked about it on here, but I mean, Liquid kind of said like, hey, we're going to the LCS finals, MSI, and also Esports World Cup or whatever. And then like all these reports came out that Esports World Cup's going to have League of Legends, and Riot kind of said like, we're not going to say no to our teams and players if they can go and make money in these tournaments and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's cool. We're actually going to see an actual awesome esport at the Esports World Cup, because I think what we
And not
what we kind of saw.
Wii Sports table tennis or whatever the fuck. Like what was the archery games on iOS.
Yeah, so that'll be super cool. And it sounds like a couple teams from each areas are gonna go. So I think it's it's gonna be sick to see League of Legends on another stage like that. So.
Hell yeah. And speaking of the big stages, FaZe back on top with COD. What's going on? What is going on from the shareholder perspective? What's happening with FaZe? They're back on top with COD. How did this happen? Who let this happen?
I mean, listen, FaZe Banks gets the keys to the company. All right, he's got the passwords instead. He blacked out the Twitter emoji for a week and a half. And listen, I mean, FaZe Clan next major, they come out dominating. People forget that Simp, the pimp with the big dimp, he is still him, and no one can touch him. Him, aBeZy, Cell, and now Draza are just an unstoppable force. They've been the best team for 3 years, probably.
Yeah.
Even though they get second in every single tournament, every major. It's been over a year since they've won a major this time, which is incredible to even think about because they're always in the finals. So it's insane. So the first major, or this is major 2 of the league that they won this year. So super exciting. They won in dominating fashion. And this is a very tough game because it seems every 2-3 weeks there's a new patch where a new gun's season 3 just dropped, a new Warzone map. They keep nerfing the MCW, which is the AR. They don't want to add another gun. So now literally Dashy posts clips every other day of him using the sub, and he's like, the sub's a better AR than the AR. So I think they keep putting GAs, so they have to use ARs. Yep. But now the AR is just so useless. Everyone's just gonna be, I don't know what they're gonna do. They need to just add a new gun or fix their game, but so I don't know. But
Draza also the involved in some beef, some WAG beef, wife and girlfriend, some CDL WAG beef. I think it was him and who was the other one? Scrappy? Was it Scrappy?
Scrappy. Yeah.
Their significant others were going at it. I don't know how this started because there were some tweets that were like deleted or muted or whatever, but Draza and Scrappy's significant others were jawing at each other. This was like kind of late last weekend, I feel like. And, there's a lot of insults being hurled around, a lot of very unkind, yet still kind of hilarious things being tossed around. Yeah. But yeah, so that happened. Obviously in the wake of Atlanta FaZe taking home another major and, just continuing to be dominant, continuing to be at the top of professional Call of Duty. Boston Breach also had a massive shakeup. They dropped 2 of their players as well as one of the folks in their coaching staff, and then installed 2 additional coaches. So Shawnee, who was on the Breach Academy team, has now been called up to the coaching staff for the regular Breach roster. They re-signed Beans. They re-signed oh my god, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they dropped Slasher and Asim, who I thought were pretty solid performers. Obviously, again, these people know more about COD than I do, so there's only so much that I can really say. But interesting stuff. But really quick, JB said thoughts on the new WoW release. If you're talking about it later, I'll wait. I didn't have like a topic in mind for World of Warcraft, but I can touch on that really quick. It depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about War Within, or are you talking about Plunderstorm, which just came out? I will wait for you to respond on that in the chat, and Tiggy, any other thoughts on CDL results?
Yeah, just on Boston Breach, it's I understand they probably need to make a change because the organization cares a whole lot about Call of Duty, and they're just not getting many results. And obviously that has to translate to some decision. Yeah. It sucks for ASIM because ASIM was the last member to join. Yeah. And it's like last one in, first one out. Yeah. Kind of sucks because he's kind of been thrown around the league, and it might not necessarily be his fault. Slasher, huge veteran in the scene, kind of wild. That's a huge move. But, he's also been with some pretty good rosters throughout the past year. So maybe it's just getting to his time. The guy who we didn't know, I just looked up, Pentagram, has been called up. Pentagram's been around the scene for a decade. Has been a substitute for a couple teams past couple years. So really cool that he's finally getting a shot in the big leagues. He's won tons of S&D tournaments, has been an academy guy for a long time. Pentagram is very good and one of the top players of that tier 2 level for so long. So very cool he's getting an actual shot at the big leagues. And hopefully that pans out well for him in the Breach.
Yeah, no, 100%. And really quick, JB said War Within. So quick thoughts on War Within. I love that there's like a 3-year story arc that we're going through. It's really cool to see kind of like a, I mean, I hate to really compare WoW to Destiny because I feel like WoW has a much stronger story backbone, and Chris Metzen being back involved makes me really confident. I love Chris Metzen. I love the stories that he's told and written and the characters he's created. And I'm glad that he's back to kind of like wrap up some loose ends and make like an overarching story arc. I think that WoW does this thing where they, at the end of every expansion, they like hard, like breakneck pivot like 90 degrees to some other big bad. And so at the end of every expansion, you're like, all right, this conflict's going to be resolved. It's not a big deal, whatever. Like if I don't participate, I don't participate. But this is like this 3-year long narrative event or like longer that, I think will be really great. And it's cool to know that the stakes are so high that it's going to span multiple years and multiple expansions. So I'm pumped that they're doing that. So I'm fired up for War Within and beyond. So yeah, what else we got? We were talking about, speaking of Destiny, let's talk a little fucking Destiny, dude. We had the Destiny live streams, the developer diaries. We got Into the Light coming on Tuesday. What do you think about Destiny? Where's your head at? Because I know where I'm at, and I'm in a dangerous place right now. That's all I can really say. But
Yep.
I don't want to use the B word. I'm tempted to use it, but how are you feeling?
I think Destiny's in a cool spot. Guardian Games was something that kind of rallied a lot of people together. Obviously, as it does every year, first of all, it's a charity cause, and it's just a cool event.
Is it?
So I think that is what is charity event.
Guardian Games is charity?
Yeah, they do donate a lot of money. So I think if you buy like the battle pass throughout that, a lot of money goes to a certain cause and stuff like that. I don't know the cause, but I saw a lot of things that's initially why it was started. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize that. So, I mean, just a cool event as it is. So
yeah,
that was cool. Brought a lot of people back. You got class on class action and stuff like that, which ended up being turned off because it was broken. So, but Destiny as a whole, I think it brought a lot of people back because they wanted the skimmer. They're adding new things to the game. They're fixing some old things.
Yep.
And then they're coming in with an expansion that I believe is coming free, correct?
Yeah, Into the Light.
Into the Light, which is going to be free, which is
Tuesday,
very cool.
April 9th.
April 9th, next week. So very excited about that. The things they've been posting have been really cool. They kind of have like a dungeon mode-esque, which maybe it might be like D1 Prison of Elders. That's what I was kind of gauging when I heard of that, but I think it's going to be something completely different, something a lot more rewarding than Prison of Elders. So I think that's called Pantheon. So that'll be super cool. And yeah, like you, I'm very excited, and I'm excited to get into that. I don't want to use the B word as well, but I'm excited to get into the game again.
Yeah, no, 100%. Excited to be reintroducing myself to it. Whatever words you can use. But no, I think that Into the Light looks great. That drops on the 9th. It includes a new mode called Onslaught, which is a horde mode. And a lot of people might be thinking that, every mode in Destiny is kind of like a horde mode, which is true, but this is more of a defensive horde mode, where kind of more akin to like a Gears 2, Gears 3, where you're going to be setting down barricades and like debuffs and turrets and stuff like that, and defending a point and like holding a point, rather than just going out and killing X amount of enemies and then moving on to the next area. It's a little bit different. So looking forward to that. Probably one of the most respected and beloved fan favorite NPCs, Lord Shaxx, is going to be hosting the whole event. He's going to be taking Guardians to the I think it's called the Pantheon, or like the Hall of Champions or something like that, where there's going to be tons of new weapons and returning weapons that were like too busted to stay in the game. They're going to be returning them back into the fold, and it's like a full, basically it's going to be there I think until Beyond Light. I'm sorry, not Beyond Light, oh my god, before the final shape comes out. They're all going to be there, so it's going to be like a 2-month long event. And they've had these 3 weekly developer live streams where they've done like Q&A. They've talked about behind the scenes stuff. They've given like a little bit of information on each one. And each one of these developer live streams have been really valuable. I think they've been super easy to get behind. I think that they really genuinely are enjoyable to watch. And it sounds like the Bungie employees themselves are fired up to get Into the Light into players' hands and also get them fired up for the final shape. So, again, not using the B word. I don't want to do that. But it's good to know that like Bungie seems confident, especially because there's been no shortage of shitty news around Destiny and Bungie and stuff like that. Sometimes it feels like they can't really get out of their own way. But it sounds like we're moving in the right direction. So
Yeah. I saw today that they are going to have new light kits available. Just you get to choose one of these kits for every class, and you get campaign ready gear, subclass abilities, and an exotic armor quest. And you get to choose one per class. So perfect for new players that returning players that they haven't played in a little bit to get them ready. Because that's the worst. You want to get back into the game. You want to cut that. You want to get return into the game, and then you get mind blown because you're 150 light levels away from the actual campaign to do anything fun, and you're like, oh my god, I have to do these endless strikes for days and days and days to be able to compete and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, we're going to give you the freaking armor. We know no one really gives a shit, and it's just a waste of time. Hey, we're going to give you the armor. We're going to give you a subclass if you don't have them. We're going to give you all these fragments that usually cost like 170,000 million glimmer.
Yep.
We're going to give you some for free, and we're going to give you an exotic quest. The role might suck, but hey, we're going to give you a little something just for free, just to play our game.
And on top of that, there's going to be 2 returning exotic quests. Whisper of the Worm, and then there's another one, and it'll give you a craftable version of that weapon. So you'll be able to actually like put some additional mods and stuff like that on top of it. And they're going to be reworking it. So if there's anybody in like your clan or some of your buddies that are going back to it and think, oh, I can just walk you right through this, they've changed up the quest a little bit so that you have to kind of like re-experience them, which I really like. So
that's cool.
And I'm sure there'll be guides out like an hour after the content drops, but even still, it's great. And yeah, they're going to be bringing back that like Gift of the Thunder Gods type thing that'll bring you up to the current like soft level cap or whatever it is, so you can still grind up to like 1840. I think it brings you up to like 1820 or 1810 or something like that, and which is great. So I'm pumped. But yeah, so all good things.
Exciting times. I love Whisper of the Worm too. I came into the game with Taken King, and that's when the Black Spindle, that was what it was called in D1. Incredible sniper. It feels so good to hit 3 headshots, and then it reloads your gun when you hit 3 precision headshots. So the fact that we're going to have that and probably be able to have an additional perk added on, it might make it viable in some boss fights and stuff, which is cool. Because, I don't know, Destiny 2, if you're not using the meta guns and stuff, people legit will kick you from the fire team. Like, you're not using the Gjallarhorn? Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you didn't pay $30 for that? Get out.
This is an all Gjallarhorn party, buddy.
Yeah. No. Yeah, okay. We need our wolf rockets or whatever. I don't know what they're called. But it's like, dude, first of all, Destiny's a game where you can just hop in and basically just bully punch everything through through for the most part. You know what I mean? Except for raids. So it's like, just let people use their shit. I love the Black Spindle. I think it's a cool gun. I like Sleeper Stimulant too, with like the big linear fusion thing. Like just guns that just are kind of wonky and are fun. I mean, I don't know. So excited for that. That'll be cool.
I'm a really big fan of the current exotic rocket launcher. I can't remember the name of it. It looks like a giant like warhead with like a shark painted on the side of it.
It was in the battle pass, right?
Yeah, it's in the battle pass.
Oh my god!
It's a solar rocket launcher. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. It's cool as shit though, and it just like repeatedly does these like little napalm explosions when you shoot it at a target, and it's just fantastic.
Is it Dragon's Breath?
Yes.
Boom.
That's the one. So, not going to use the B word, but Destiny, it's on the up and up. We may be dabbling. We may be, having some, just getting the feet wet in the beak a little bit. We talked about CDL phase being on top. We got FlyQuest with their situations. What's happening with them. Let's see what else we got. Do we have anything else? Maybe we could just. I mean, we can also just jump into some voicemails. We got some voicemails. Could be a quick one. Yeah. Let's jump.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Let's do some voicemails. 617-701-7678. WGG Internet. Voicemail. We'll listen to it live, react to it live on the show. First caller. What do we got?
Want to leave a voicemail this week. I've recently been replaying my childhood copy of Pokemon Crystal, and one thing that I really like about Crystal was the way they kind of restructured the gyms, and the gyms were more of like a theme than like a type. Everyone knows in like every Pokemon, pretty much going forward, you're going to face like a rock gym starting out, facing some sort of like water, grass, fire, so on and so forth. What I really liked about Crystal was how the first gym was like a bird Pokemon trainer, and then the next one was a bug Pokemon trainer. I thought that was really unique twist and change on things. I wish they would revisit some more of those ideas in the upcoming Pokemon. Just want to get you guys' thoughts on that. And throw out your favorite generation of Pokemon. Mine is definitely Gen 2 and Gen 3. You guys have a great week. Love you as always. See you guys.
Thank you, Coleman, for the voicemail. We love you. Yeah, man, favorite gen of Pokemon. That's tough. I think, like, gun to my head, if I had to pick one gen to play over and over again, it would, honest to God, I think it would be Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think that's I think that's one of the best Pokemon games. I was extremely hard on it when it first came out. I was merciless when that game first came out, but I think that really gathers it gives you like a feeling of like the hunt and like, getting to know the creatures on an intimate level and stuff like that. And I think that game is absolutely phenomenal. But otherwise, it's probably Pokemon Gold. Yeah, in terms of, I never played Crystal. I never played the third gen. Or not the third gen, like the third iteration Pokemon games, any gen. I've never like played one gen twice. So I've never like finished Gold and then went back and played Crystal, for example. But yeah, Tiggy, what about you?
That's cool. Yeah. Mine would have to be, honestly, Gen 3. Gen 3, I got the Torchic.
Wow.
I got the Torchic shirt here.
Wow. Did you get that from PAX?
I got this from PAX.
That's fucking amazing.
From that Flood Shop. Torchic Filet. Torchic's my favorite starter. And I just love Gen 3. I think it's so cool with the water, and the Pokemon are very vibrant and pretty, and Groudon and Kyogre, and then you got Rayquaza coming down from the sky. Like, the whole story of Gen 3 is really, really cool. The games are pretty easy. Like, if you're a fire guy, you get Double Kick, that can help you with all the rock guys, The water, get ground too, and then the grass, just kind of, you're stuck with grass, and it sucks. Yeah. Sorry, grass people, but no one's using the grass Pokemon. I'm gonna be fucking honest. But I think that's cool. How I've never played Crystal. Gen 2 is probably my least favorite, and it's solely because it is very difficult. Because you get to the 8th gym and you're still seeing wild Pokemon at level 20. Yeah. When level 20 was the level for like gym 3. Sure. It's very hard to level up. It's a grindy game. So yeah. I never played Crystal. I think that's cool how they switch up the gyms, and they don't really do that. I think it would be really cool if instead of like, I know how they do the types. Maybe instead of having all fire, listen, they're just gonna have like a different theme than just fire. They're going to have, like, it's not always, it can't be a cakewalk. You can't have one Pokemon just dominate every gym. I think that would be cool. I also think what would be cool is if somehow, this would have to be a mod probably, but like, let's say you play Gen 1 and you roll it, and you go to Pewter City and the first gym leader is Lieutenant Surge instead of Brock. Just randomly. Like, you start a game and it randomly rolls the gym leaders. With the
a little like Pokemon roguelike type action.
Yeah. With the exception of Giovanni as 8. Like you would have to leave
Yeah,
Giovanni
yeah.
as 8.
You
but-
you always start with you start and end with the same guy or something like that, but everybody in between is different.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah,
I like
think
that.
that'd be sick. That'd probably be just like a mod or something where it just re-rolls all the gym leaders. Again, all the Pokemon levels would have to be diminished and stuff like that. But I think that'd be a cool way to do it. So it's like, hey, maybe the grass Pokemon would be better. And then you can kind of just deal with Pokemon probably in a more realistic level
Yeah.
instead of just being like, well, I know what's coming here. I know this battle. I know this battle. I know this battle.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really cool.
Instead of like knowing what you're walking into and being able to prepare accordingly.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to even have like a timed boss rush mode type deal where like maybe you have X amount of hours in between every gym leader, and it's like you finish the first gym leader, and it's like you got 2 hours to get to the next one, and like whatever you do after that 2 hour mark, your Pokemon's levels are locked, and you have to go. You gotta go beat them. You gotta go beat number 2 to get the third one, and then it unlocks, and you get 3 more hours, and you can go do whatever. Like, obviously if the system's off, the system's off or whatever, or if the game's paused, it's paused. But I don't know, something like that where like it puts a little bit more urgency on like the journey itself. I think that would be an interesting caveat to the old formula. So I'm with it. I'm with it.
I like that.
All right, cool. Let's see. Second and last voicemail. What do we got?
What is up, WGG fam, WGG Founding Fathers, and also WGG streaming team? I know recently we had Marco and Tiggy. You're doing amazing. Love you, brother. My question for this week is, what's your biggest pull that you ever had from any collective cards that you've opened in your lifetime, whether it be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, sports, whatever it is? Recently, I opened up a Giratina V alternate full art, and I'm just watching that thing climb from $200 all the way up to $314 now. Much love as always, guys. Peace.
JB, dude, good to fucking hear from you, bro. It is great to hear your voice. It is great to hear you doing well. Hope that you're doing phenomenal. Man, what a great question. Thank you for the voicemail. I missed the JB voicemails, man. I did. I missed the weekly JB voicemails, and looking forward to getting you fully back, ingratiated into the fam here. There's always a seat at the table for you, buddy. So, the best pull ever. It's probably a Pokemon card. I had pulled it was a Dialga alternate art. I gotta look it up. I think it was probably it's gotta be like $200 or something like that I've got in my binder right now. Look at this, dude. We got JB came through, TP Poker came through. What the fuck is happening right now? This must be something out in somebody's leaving chemtrails out there. That there's just smoke signals to get everybody back in here. I gotta find Origin Form Dialga, which was like $150 the last time I checked. Now of course it's like probably 50. Yeah, it's like $40 you can probably buy it for. So I mean, these things have been just like tanking like crazy. It used to be a lot more expensive than that. It certainly was the last time I looked at it, which is a bummer. But who knows? Maybe it'll go back up. But all good things. That was one of them, and then. Yeah, I'd say there's some other like Crown Zenith alternate arts. There was one that was like a golden. They have like the Golden God ones, similar to JB. I think he said the Giratina V. Which one? I think I know exactly which one he's talking about. I believe from that collection I have the not Giratina, not Arceus. I've got one of them from that like golden collection. I have exactly one, and even still, those are like I think it's like $70 or something like that. I gotta go look at my binder and find it, but I know I have at least one of those. What about you, Tiggy? What's the rarest card you got in your collection?
Yeah, I am like so bad at pulls where I open it and I know the value's just gone. It's like driving a new car off the lot. It's like all value. Instantly I open it, it's gone. I should have just kept it sealed. I should just buy the card I want. I opened up the new shiny set So it would have been the same as Paldea Fates. I think it was called Shiny Treasures in Japanese. So I
Yeah.
have the Japanese
Yep.
box. In each box, you get like 2 baby shinies, and I got the baby shiny Pikachu.
Ooh.
And at the time, it was going for like $100 because everyone wants shiny Pikachu.
Yep,
There's
yep.
there's 100 so baby shinies, so everyone obviously wants the Pikachu. It's like one of the most sought after.
Yep.
It's probably like $20 right now, but I have it and it's fucking sick. But it's like,
Hey, it's only gonna go back up.
That's what they all say.
Pokemon
But,
cards only go up. That's what they say.
Pokemon cards only go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've never experienced anything like pulling the Moonbreon or pulling that Giratina V or like
Man,
any
imagine.
crazy alternate art that's worth a lot. But the shiny Pikachu was very cool, and I was kind of ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
was sick.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the Crown Zenith cards now because I bought a shitload of the Crown Zenith set, and I know that the Giratina, Arceus, Palkia, and Dialga, those were like $300, $400, $500 cards when those came out, and now they're like $40, $50. So maybe I'll just buy a couple of those off TCG Player just to have them. It's having disposable income is a curse, but
Yeah.
anyway, I also had a really cool. Oh my god, what's his name? It's one of the 2 legendaries from Sword and Shield.
Zamazenta.
Zamazenta or Zacian. I think it was Zacian. Yeah, Zacian V. And now it's I mean, this was like $80 when I pulled it. And I have like 4 of them, and now it's $10, which is a fucking bummer. But hopefully it'll be fine soon. But
Regardless, the new cards are so pretty, and like how they have the trainers and stuff, like they're just gorgeous. And the fact that they are so inexpensive nowadays, like if you want to jump into Pokemon, you can find some super cheap, awesome cards out there on the market and stuff that are just gorgeous.
Yeah, totally. Great time to be a collective, especially if you have interest in like more older stuff. So yeah, but thank you JB for the voicemail, and now let's lend the train, shall we? So I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks. Next week we're gonna have a little compilation episode from all of the interviews from PAX East. Hopefully I can make those stretch into two episodes. We're going to see what happens there. So I think Tiggy and Marco have a couple of interviews to upload. We're going to take a look at those and see what we can do with them. But big shout out to everybody that's been in the chat. Shout out to TP Poker. Shout out to JB. Shout out to LD, Marco, Cole, and Lundo. Really appreciate you guys. And we'll see you when I get back in 2 weeks. Next live show is in 2 weeks from now. Tiggy, what do you got?
So just excited for the weekend. Final Four. I'm actually going with a buddy of mine. He somehow had tickets and offered me. They were able to buy them like face value, won some lottery or something. So I'm gonna be going to the Final Four in the national championship this weekend. So that'll be a good time.
Hell yeah.
So fuck yeah, sports, basketball, woohoo! It's gonna be pumped. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to a string concert. It's gonna play Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter music.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it's like a string quartet, and I'm going by myself because I wanted to go, and I asked some people to go, and they didn't want to go, so I'm just gonna go and enjoy myself.
Do it.
And just have a little night.
Do
have
it.
a little night. I got the suit back from the dry cleaner,
Yep.
fresh off.
Throw the
red
suit
carpet.
on.
I'm ready to fucking go.
Get yourself a little Pinot Noir, tap in. Mm-hmm. You'll be ready to go, dude. You'll be ready to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Thank you everybody for tuning in once again, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the live show. But stay tuned, obviously. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, rate, download, review, all that good stuff on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.